when I play a game like No Man's Sky, it occurs to me that it really is about having your own personal journey. It's about starting off as a character with nothing, and then starting to create a little space in a great, vast, seemingly empty universe that is completely and entirely yours. It's your base, it's your ship, it's your character. But it's not necessarily very good. You know, I haven't put very much time into the game, and it's kind of confusing to get into at the very beginning. So I've pretty much just tinkered around and done very little of anything, and just started to get to the point where I have my basic starship and my super basic base. I just got solar panels that can power my base, and you know, it's not really like there's a whole heck of a lot for me to brag about here, and yet it's mine. And that is cool when you start to see your effort slowly turn into something you can say you made, you built it. And then when we look at life and we think about the path of living, it's kind of like that. You know, you look at your accomplishments, the things that you have done, and it's so easy to think, well, I haven't really done very much of anything. I haven't accomplished anything worthy of any kind of bragging rights. I haven't done much with my life by the standard of the super successful. And yet there's a big void between where you were and where you are. And when you stop looking around at what everyone else has done, what everyone else can speak to having accomplished in their lives, and you just look at what you have done in your life, you'll see that you do have things to take pride in, things to celebrate, things that are deeply meaningful to you. And maybe it is that everyone else is in the fast lane, and you just barely have your own little place to live. Kind of like me and my fledgling base in No Man's Sky. Compared to the longtime players that know how to do so many different things in the game, you know, I have no clue what I'm even doing. But it doesn't really matter, because it's not about, it isn't really about my accomplishments relative to other people. It's about my accomplishments relative to my own path, you know? Like, if you compare yourself to others, you're never going to be good enough, right? But if you compare yourself to the version of yourself that existed before, then you're probably not doing too bad. You probably have something worth being happy about, something worth being proud of, right? So don't lose sight of your accomplishments just because they maybe pale in comparison to what someone else has accomplished in their life. Somebody was reacting to one of the many builds of starships that have been making their way around the internet lately. And they said, in a game with infinite exploration, the most beautiful things are the ones we create. I thought, isn't that really, really true? We have all sorts of procedurally generated planets and an infinite number of places that you can go in a game like No Man's Sky. But you know what stands out? It's when you see a YouTube video of somebody that somehow managed to create a replica of Pizza Hut inside the game on a planet somewhere. It's when you look at your ramshackle little base and have no idea how to use most of the systems in the game, but then you look at what other people have done and you realize that there's a lot of things you could do, and there's a whole world of possibilities and potential forms of creativity you could put into play. It's something that is pretty cool, and it's also something that carries over into our real lives quite a bit, I think. When we focus on what we have and what we are, it can feel like we aren't really very much. And yet, that's not really what it's about, is it? It's about being in this vastness and having a sense that we're not alone. It's about connection, right? Like, why is it that we go venture off into the vastness of space, maybe virtually or otherwise? Whether you're off traveling amongst the stars in a video game or just scrolling endlessly through Reddit, either way, we go off into these void spaces trying to get lost, trying to escape something, we think. But really, we're trying to be found. We're looking for connection of some kind. We're hoping for a way to validate our own sense of identity. We're looking for an opportunity to be part of something greater than ourselves. And the great connections that we make are when we respect other people, other players. When you see a journey someone else is on and you celebrate that journey that they're on. It's when we celebrate each other. Then we benefit from that notion of being, I guess, alone together. And that's a weird dichotomy. Because why would you want to be alone if you're looking for connection? Sometimes we want to be able to be alone so we can chart our own path, so that we can write our own story. But we also want to know that we're not writing that story by ourselves, that there's other people out there writing their story too. And even though we aren't exactly sharing the journey, we're sharing the experience. in all of our different ways, we have something that ties us together as sort of a brotherhood of people looking for connection in the emptiness of solitude. It is an interesting thing, though, isn't it? The beauty of setting off on a journey and knowing that it's completely your own. Maybe that's why I like going on road trips. It's just you in the open road, maybe a travel center late in the night, another cup of coffee, you and your thoughts. There's something really beautiful about it. And in a virtual way, we get that experience in games like this where there's a great deal of space and not really a lot of anything else other than the story that you choose to write with your imagination and your thoughts. And occasionally, the experiences that you share with other players who are on their journey as well. But the reality is it's not the game that's beautiful. It's the stories that people tell while they play it. It's the way fantasy gives real people a medium that they can use to express themselves. The game is just like a notepad. It's the medium we use to tell stories. But what really matters is the people behind the screen. So just know you're not alone out there. We're all in this together, playing our games in all of their forms, playing the game of life. And even if you are alone, you're not really alone, because there's a lot of other people out there who are building ships and building bases and trying to find their way too. So even if you feel like you're a solo player, we are actually millions. So be of good cheer. As always, good luck on your adventure. Till next time. Thanks so much.